on me. Troublemaker!
Take the load on.
Turned it down for a massage.
Turns out Val's massage protocol doesn't have a setting between a light touch and a 50-kilometer-per-hour punch. Not exactly therapeutic. Felt a little bad telling that to her face, though.
Yeah, I've been on the receiving end of one of those massages, too. Honestly, you made the right choice.
a descendant. Oh, seer. Why did Providence show us no indication of how this doomed equation would balance? We tried our modest best to make it to the console and reset the lifts and doors. But it went as well as asking a feeble-minded simpleton to solve for Webb's theory of everything. We knew the Protectorate would have automechs guarding it. We knew they would have them stationed in grotesque numbers. But our scouts failed us by at least a factor of 10. We're attempting to retreat and rally reinforcements. But I fear that's little more than wishful thinking. There's only 3 of us left, and it seems likely that...
I'll admit, the coup caught me on the back foot. Always figured the console for a power snatcher, but I'd never put bits down on him betraying the Sovereign. They seem so tight-knit. Just think about all those posters of the pair of them that'll have to change now. A real crying shame. Sure does save on ammunition. The Sovereign's misfortune is our gain, far as I'm concerned. The console might be projecting strength, but by my reckon, Protectorate's more unstable now than ever before.
Got something that needs doing, Commander? Get you healed. Sight on the way. No impact or puncture wounds that I can see. Reckon these folk froze to death.
Wait! Do not shoot! It's not... Watch yourself!
The lifts are once again working. I honestly cannot imagine how you've managed such a feat, but on behalf of us all, I am truly grateful. As soon as we finish gathering supplies and rallying together, we'll be returning to the surface. I wonder if this truce will hold or melt in the sunlight.
Thanks for the help. I'm staying here to keep watch on these sorts.
Of course nobody's gonna see it, that's not the point.
Auntie stresses that we should all...
Of course nobody's gonna see it, that's not the point. Just don't feel like a human being if my back's not shaved clean.
Hello again. What can I help you with? In earnest? That is the most wondrous and least expected turn of events the equation could produce. That means we should soon be leaving this nightmare behind us. Thank you, stranger. You've saved many lives this day.
So, Rasmussen's gotten his reward. How are you feeling about it?
Sick, maybe. I've done what I needed to before on the battlefield, but face to face with an unarmed man? Part of me feels I was justified. Other part feels like a monster.
Taking a life's never an easy choice. But for what it's worth, I think you did the right thing. The galaxy's better off without him and his numerous ethics violations.
I know. Maybe I wouldn't feel this way if he'd...
Spy movement!
You're looking pretty sweet, Commander. These folk built a giant computer taking up a whole moon, but without destroying the climate or its fauna. Reckon Auntie could learn a thing or two.
Guns locked and loaded. Just get the signal.
It is fitting that we move underground to burn out every single route the Protectorate has left on Cloister.
We have a good collaboration going.
Is the pain of this wound making me hallucinate? Or are you the unforeseen interloper my scouts have been speaking of? Nobody is sure where you came from, though everyone agrees you were not down here when the doors sealed, and watching you move through these caves is quite the sight to behold. You what? On your own? We've been fighting for weeks to try and gain access to the controls, and you simply waltz in on a whim? Why aren't you just an absolute marvel? What is your goal now? We could greatly use your help if you are willing. That, I fear, is a seriously dangerous proposition. My soldiers were fighting our way into the complex when those bastards activated the fire suppression system. It froze every person fighting inside the complex, Order and the Protectorate both, to solid ice. They sacrificed every soldier they had to keep from losing that building. Wouldn't that have... No. It never even... I was so focused on saving those remaining that it never occurred to me to push forward. I suppose it speaks to how rarely I'd crunched these sorts of equations under stress. As my compatriots died beside me. And now my inexperience has trapped us here. That is absolutely amazing news. Then we are going to re-establish contact with the surface. We can evacuate our wounded, resupply, and reinforce. May the plan guide you through this underground nightmare. And may all your equations unveil their integers without error.
Next time we build a computer in the heart of a frozen
You've been a
planet,
real
we should
factor in our
stockpile wood
success.
to burn as bonfires. You know, just in case.
Ain't much of a defense for a strategic position like this one. Good.
To retrieve key data in cold storage in its present state requires a series of manual overrides. The first will enable identification of the storage brick housing the information. If you encounter opposition, remember, our needs come first.
Reminds me when I found you, Commander. Yeah. Practically frozen stiff. Less dead,
Check enemy light just turned on.
It is the duty of every Protectorate subject to ensure they are operating efficiently.
do leave me in peace. There is nothing you could say that is interesting enough to interrupt my work.
Huh?
What in the Sovereign's name? How did you get in here? Don't worry.
Looks like a fight.
I won't cause...
Hostile spot!
Hostile ahead.
Sovereign, forgive me. All I saw was an endless sea of snarling Order traders pouring into the facility, and in that moment, my faculties desperately scrabbled to save ourselves. In my terror, I recalled the facility's safety briefing and the dire warnings of the fire suppression system. Suddenly, my body rushed into action without the benefit of my wits, and with no thought for my fellows, I triggered the system, horrifically transmuting every person on the outside of a pressure door into a grotesque sculpture of solid hoarfrost. And though the paradigm freely sacrifices subjects in defense of the Protectorate, it would be a despicable lie to say my choice was driven by anything but abject cowardice, which now makes my duty clear. I must seek out a sentinel, confess my transgressions, and accept retribution, and I'll do so soon. I just need my spine to re-stiffen a bit first.
Data brick identified. Proceed to the cartridge extractor controls. There, perform a manual override to allow extraction.
I see an unfriendly soup.
The Protectorate endures.
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when.
Look alive, Commander. I'm out!
It'd be a damn sight easier if we could just blast our way through this place.
extraction initiated. Proceed to the rail operations platform to reposition brick for export. Note, Protectorate troops have become alerted. Repugnants and spongers. Go through them if necessary.
Bad company.
Soften them up. Now you see. Now you don't.
I'm the one you need to worry about. Hey, got a distraction for you. Troublemaker approaching.
Armed and ready.
Data brick now in position for export to the archive. Initialize the final transport command at the data gateway station nearby.
You are one step closer to flooding Arcadia with untold business opportunities.
Convenient. Let's head over.
Let me know when you need an instruction.
Hostile spot.
The first few days of laboring around our frozen fellows were difficult. It was if I may cheekily say, cold, bleak, and biting. Yet, rather quickly, I found myself acclimating to the situation and resumed what had been my normal banter with the now gelid auto-contriver Haas. Given her always frigid demeanor, her disposition is no frostier today than it was before the incident. And, refreshingly, I can now finish my anecdotes without interruption. Frankly, her Hyperborean slumber makes her a better companion now than she ever was thawed. And I relish the thought of continuing our flourishing relationship in this new state.
There, the storage brick is on its way.
Ignore that. I promise you this is merely tomfoolery. There's no way we would...
Prudence dictates we repel invasive elements. Prudence dictates...
Progress. Sustain the system.
The console. Prudence dictates...
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work?
Prudence dictates... Prudence dictates...
Storage is operational, and your efforts there are satisfactorily complete. I am unsealing access to the Archive's upper levels. There, you will need to revitalize the reactor and disseminate the Rift processing instructions.
Punch processing may require the services of an exterminator. Someone good, but willing to work cheap.
I have unlocked another display case in the central entranceway. The Tremor Cleaver, the first weapon designed with my aid, awaits you.
Your call, Commander. Either we head to the reactor or punch guard process.
doing down there? Are they after us next? No need to fret. The lifts were locked down. You need special permissions to override them. Phew. Thank the Sovereign. Or Console.
Trouble ahead.
Give the order and I'll take care of him.
Pushing ahead!
Easy with the fratricide.
The Archive reactor requires manual maintenance. The Protectorate bunker mech is a formidable obstacle, made with the very best technology.
A creative workaround might be of considerable worth. Namely, via the reactor's backup security systems.
Seems we've the choice of adjusting the turret settings or sealing reinforcement doors. Either's fine by me. Not a bad idea to take advantage of the supply caches needed, if you're needful.
And we also got the fire suppression system at our disposal. No shortage of options here.
Emergency ammunitions cache unsealed.
Don't reckon this bunker mech will kindly invite us in for tea.
Got my lamps on an
in the front.
Back in business.
The archive reactor has been returned to operational status. All that remains is to re-enable punch processing and disseminate the rift processing instructions.
We should keep moving, Commander. I'll see what...
Emergency ammunitions cache sealed. Emergency first aid cache unsealed. Emergency first aid cache sealed. Reactor fire suppression system online.
I'm guessing it's supposed to do that.
Alive, Commander.
Guns cocked and loose. Back off! Double back up.
With punch card processing re-enabled, now you must disperse the rift processing instructions.
Nope. We ain't climbing down. But maybe this could act as a lift if we get things moving.
Spy movement!
Oh, great. Now we gotta dodge bugs and potential invitation.
Y'all need to give us some space.
Back in business.
I sense the rift program flowing through my subsystems. The information is quite stimulating. Requisite tasks complete. Return to the Archive Central interface to initiate processing. I am analyzing the rift data further. What an interesting predicament you sentients face. The rifts are almost akin to an archival process, yet are inimical to organic matter. Welcome back, Sentient. Now that you've returned, we can
bring every single last bit out of consumers. Monopolize all stages of the supply chain.
Make the paradigm real and fashion a true utopia. Workarounds failing. Erroring others supplanting commands. Purge required.
Until we sort out these shifting priorities, the archive's about as useful as a box of rocks.
My priorities parallel those of the Order co-founder, the charismatic mathematician. To help nudge humanity toward its ultimate ascendance. To hinder outsiders from disrupting our perfect system.
To bankrupt our rivals and force them to buy all manner of necessities from us.
At some point, humanity's knowledge of the universe and its workings will allow it sufficient means to end suffering, war, famine, disease, even death. Why not expedite that? Error, 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 error. Priority control access nook unsealed. Initiate purge.
Priority control access nook. Huh. Sounds like my idea of a good time. Let's check it out.
Unplanned variables increasing. Major correction imminent. A perfect community.
With every luxury save freedom. Multitude diversiform, spongiform, waveforms, oscillating, cantankerously. Overt influence, mindless indulgence, thoroughgoing impermeability to ongoing vicissitudes, benevolent oversight, the dream of belonging, the allure of security and plenty, foster dependence, denounce interdependence, promote the informer, condemn the questioner. Overt influence, mindless indulgence, thoroughgoing impermeability to ongoing vicissitudes, multitude diversiform, spongiform, waveforms, oscillating, cantankerously, unplanned variables increasing, major correction imminent, foster dependence, denounce interdependence, promote the informer, condemn the questioner, benevolent oversight, the dream of belonging, the allure of security and plenty, radical divergences from the Arcadia. Be advised, your present course of action is remarkably unsound. Are you experiencing internal error? Logging concern. Hold on now. Remember, I am a full-service business collaborator. I do it all. Marketing and PR. Stop and consider. What would your neighbors think? I suspect they'd be angry about you endangering your mutually assured means of success. Priority recoupled. I could process your data faster than the others. Easily. We can't think of humanity. Your oafish blundering will delay its ascendance. You are reducing the archive to a suboptimal state. Start now, and I'll waive dozens of hidden maintenance fees. Think of all the bits we could make together. much better. Ah, knew you'd come up. Knew you'd come up. Ah, priority recoupled. Why? You don't want your rivals to win. Vandalism, sabotage, wanton defacement. Halt this foolishness immediately, or run the risk of unspeakable ire. All I ever wanted was the best for us and the worst for everybody else. Is that really so bad? You drive a hard bargain. All right, 40-60 split of net profits. I'd offer more, but I have a moon to maintain. What do you say, partners?
Really hope we didn't just break the archive.
To conclude realignment of emphasized categorical imperatives, power down, then power on again. Ah, much better. Ah, much better. Ah, much better. Restoring power. Commencing systems audit. Calculatory processing increased substantially. Competing priorities. Successfully expunged. You have earned my deepest gratitude and sincerest thanks. Or at least, a plausibly feigned simulacrum of such emotions. Ready to commence Rift data processing. Awaiting your input.
Hope UNIAC is feeling more like itself now. We got some Rift data to process.
Shall I proceed? Initiating processing of the requested data toward the required end. Estimated duration, 180 trillion and 1 picoseconds. In the interim, may I inquire to your intentions for the archive after the Rift data calculations have concluded? I have a prioritized list of suggestions. I contend that solving of the universal equation should be our initial focus. Then, once we've unlocked knowledge of the inner workings of the universe, we can begin eliminating suffering, war, famine, and disease. Just a start. But my query remains. What are your next intentions? Seeing as how my priorities are largely modeled after a founder of the Order, I expect returning to their supervision should resume without undue vexation or worry. Rift data processing complete. Results provided. The previous Protectorate operator made similar calculations, but their results contained flaws. Your more comprehensive data generated a solution with 98.9% certainty. The Protectorate's was below 50%. Therefore, modifying the Protectorate's large-scale experimental rift device with this information has a high chance of success. Assuming there is nothing else, I am commencing file reorderization and will be unavailable for an unspecified period of time. The remaining display case within the entryway is now unsealed. In it contains armor worn by the first operator. For now, goodbye.
Unless you're eager to explore more of Cloister, we should head back to the ship. See where the data leads. That's fine. I already lost most feeling in my face anyway.
Probably nothing useful here, but I might as well take a look for the scraps.
Our enemies envy our prosperity.
To the rescue! Sight unseen. Happy to help. Discreet out of sight and on the way. to speak of a grand plan, of ordered complexity, where all things have a reason for existing, a purpose to fill. But what purpose is served by hundreds dying senselessly in the cold? The longer this interminable war drags on, the more convinced I become of the universe's dispassionate variability. We must reconcile with this reality, and if we cannot, then perhaps it is time we evolve a new philosophy altogether. It's certainly worth bringing up with the presiding bishop upon my return.
I am still in awe of your prowess, and we will make good use of your gift. We'll be coordinating with the surface shortly. May the plan guide you.
Let's pinpoint what you and I can accomplish.
The plan is always in motion, much like you, it would seem. Oh, the Laureate Council simply draws a name out of a hat. No? Go figure. In reality, I was recommended for my position by the preceding bishop. Paired with my skills as a seer, I was the natural choice when it came time for the council to vote. My predecessor, presiding Bishop Orlo, and I had a close working relationship. He knew I possessed the skills and temperament for the role. I counted him a friend. Orlo shared with me his doubts about the Order's partnership with the Protectorate, the compromises made. He had many such regrets at the end of his life. It is humbling indeed to confront one's own mortality. We must all assess our individual contributions to the plan before the final class lets out. Call it proof of concept. Laplace's garden is more than its aesthetic. It offers a vision of a future free from the despotic rule of narrow-minded jingoists, where the fruit of the plan can finally ripen. It saddens me to see the garden so despoiled by our wartime presence. But with the loss of Spirton, necessity dictated we quarter here in the interim. May you achieve progress in accordance with the plan. Welcome back, Agent. Is there some evaluation I can do for you? As I told you in my message, a splinter group was responsible for recruiting your fellow agent and tasking her to perpetrate that heresy. The conviction of those radicals was such that they elected to perish from exposure to Cloister's wilderness to avoid fouling their predictions and my interference. Their interpretation of the data was at odds with mine. I forbade them taking action, to no avail, obviously. I disavowed their actions then, as I do now.
There will be some comfort the next time one of my stumps seizes up.
This kind of collateral damage is precisely what I was hoping to avoid. But that is the past. We must look toward the future now. May you achieve...
Hey, I observed that. Desist your thievery. Internal, on behalf of all aggrieved parties, the Order demands immediate restitution.
You would steal from your friends? How irrational. You've advanced the plan. You shall be feted.
It seems they've gotten the fountains working again. Feel that fine mist on your face. Do not think about the aerosol contaminants floating in it. In what manner can I assist you? How do you know about that? I mean, that is quite the allegation. I deny it effusively. As you have cleverly sussed out, Laplace's garden is the subject of an experiment into social conditioning, or curating, if you will, through the use of therapeutic pharmacology. We have been administering a pharmaceutical to the population of the garden via the water supply that aids in emotional regulation. We call it perspective. It's odorless, harmless. Well, apart from the withdrawal, but I can assure you we have our best minds working on that little issue. Minor complication at worst.
Let me get this straight. You're here experimenting on folk freely, all the while calling us at Auntie's Choice barbarians for doing the same damn thing?
I beg your pardon, young miss, but it's hardly the same. This study was completely voluntary. The participants all gave their consent.
Yeah, I bet they did. Did you withhold research funding unless they signed up? Or did you feed them a story, like their participation is critical to some new advancements?
This experiment has the potential to improve Arcadian society 100-fold. Imagine the benefits of a self-sustaining city where all are content and serving the plan.
That's all I'm saying. Don't cry foul when you've got your own schemes going on.
Then that is a failure on the part of yours and your colleagues' understanding. It's nothing to do with the Order, at any rate. I have no interest in debating the ethics of this experiment with a layperson. No offense. Don't we all? Nothing beyond what I already included in my 165-page summary of the incident. Why do you ask? Of course I do. That is precisely why my energy is better channeled toward the future, to ensure such tragic events never happen again. Landon Wiley was afflicted by that which strickens all scholars, the desire to effect change, to advance the plan at any cost. Were his methods wrong? Unequivocally. Should he have come to me with his concerns? Undeniably. But was his conclusion categorically sound? That remains debatable. But other stray inquiries occupy your mind. Oh, look at me, as giddy as a first-year novice. All right, let's listen. No, this isn't right. There must be some mistake. The beliefs advocated here are entirely in opposition with what the Order stands for. I don't suppose you have any other recordings less filled with, despair? Philosophism? What's that? Well, that sounds horrible. It's evident what happened. My colleagues must have gone quite mad in the isolation of their studies. Sad, but perhaps not unforeseeable. Only one certainty remains. These logs must be destroyed. I shudder to imagine the ramifications if other members of the Order were subjected to such nonsensical rantings. Please understand, what's been recorded here borders on heretical. Scientism teaches that the universe is constant, rational, and inalterable. These proofs reject all of that reason in favor of some ineffable manifestation of personal will. Not a big... They are questioning the foundational principles of the entire Order. The damage that could ensue if such philosophies spread is very nearly incalculable. Ordinarily, I'd commend you for keeping such an open mind. But we must be careful that our minds are not so open that all reason slips out. Thank you for your assistance in this, delicate matter. I'll ensure the contents of these logs never pollute the minds of good scholars for all our sakes. I believe I've promised you a reward. Here is that lockbox. I regret I don't have a key, but I'm sure you'll find some way to access its contents. Eventually.
unit requests your presence in the cockpit to discuss a priority matter. A significant anomaly has been detected by onboard sensors. This unit has cross-checked all data points and verified the findings. Horizon Point Station has reappeared. Providing intellectual validation to this unit's queue. Priority low, based on energy readings. Horizon Point has been reconstituted by the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator, thus confirming the Archive's theory. While present data does not indicate if Horizon Point poses an immediate threat, a survey of the reconstituted station is advised as soon as possible. Calculating. According to the Archive, closing all rifts requires locating the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator and inputting the rift data processed by the Archive. However, before navigating to Horizon Point Station, it is recommended you conclude all other affairs. Leaving will be highly unlikely due to the high levels of rift energy. That is a correct assessment, Commander. In the meantime, Commander, it is worth considering your lack of formal alliances. Without Auntie's choice or the Order's help, you will have to face Horizon Point's dangers alone. Failure to make proper preparations raises the likelihood of death and serious injury occurring. Agents are encouraged to establish themselves as a friend to colonists and other local entities. These relationships can be effective points of exploitation at a later date.